Next episode of the AV Experience, where we've just established that Jonathan is an old man and nobody likes to listen to him as he begrudgingly yells at the rest of his family, "Hey, keep it down up there, you young whippersnappers. I'm doing something important." That's how Jonathan sounds when he's talking to his family. That he's exactly tonally, contextually. That's it.
I said to my daughters, "Hey, we're getting ready to start." I wasn't mean. I said, "Hey, we're starting a podcast. Can you shut the door?" And one of them yelled down, "What are you yelling about down there?" like old man Simpson or something.
Yeah, he says he wasn't mean, man. He was whipping them. Just whoosh. You could hear it in the background, hit the door upstairs, and man, he was upset.
Oh man,
very upset. I've established now I can control Jonathan's Alexa through the stream because he uses speakers instead of headphones. So I can talk to Alexa and manipulate his house. So at some point, maybe not tonight, in the future, I'm going to do an intercom and I'm going to talk to his family and see if we can hear talking back.
hey, Megan, how do you feel about that?
For chat, I do have a 3D printer going. So if you can hear that, let me know. Jonathan says he can't hear it, but if you guys can hear it, because sometimes you guys can hear things that we can't hear. So
they might, if you listen with headphones or something, it might be.
Yeah. If you guys can hear something, let me know and I can pause it. It's just almost done, and I didn't want to heat up the bay again, so we let it go. But we're doing something on Wednesday because Jonathan is leaving me. I pleaded my case. He's like, "No, you're not important, Ryan.
I keep getting the shaft on these discussions, like when these one-sided.
Listen, I shaft myself enough that you choose not to attack. I give you plenty and ample opportunity. You just choose not to take them. You're too nice. I'm just the mean one. So he's leaving me. Nah, he's going on a youth trip.
Yeah, I'm a chaperone and driver for our Young Christians Weekend at Silver Dollar City. So that'll be nice. Got 31 people going.
Oh man, Silver Dollar City. I didn't realize they had as good a roller coasters as they do. That got some good ones.
That's a good park.
It is. The Time Twister, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that was our favorite.
I haven't ridden that one.
No, does it scare you?
No, I think I'm too big. As sad as that is. So they have the seats outside the roller coasters you can try on before you ride, so you don't get embarrassed.
Try on. The fact that you worded that is try on. I'm going to try on my seat.
The little thing that comes over your shoulders, it won't fit. It doesn't come down.
It does barely fit for me.
So I'd like, rather than risk it and try to suck in and figure out if I could do it, I was like, I'm not going to get in there. I have to get off. So
I just hear excuses. That's all I hear. Excuses.
I lost 20 pounds since the last time I went. Maybe it'll work this time. We'll see.
Yeah, you should try it. You should try it. It's worth trying. That was my favorite. And then the other one, the wood one, was awesome. I liked that one. I don't remember what it was called.
I didn't ride that one either.
My 7-year-old, who was 6 at the time, we didn't know how big of a vertical drop that one had.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first ride of the day. And any other roller coaster until the last one she went on, there was a more tame metal one that she went on later. She would just go, no. Not doing them. And she's tall, so she can ride virtually anything.
Yeah.
But that was rough because that wood one actually has a corkscrew.
Yeah. I heard it's pretty rough on your neck.
It's cool. Super fast. It was an awesome roller coaster, but it's wood. It was rough. It was rough. You have not watched K-Pop Demon Hunter because you are a failure. We've established
you moved up my date 2 days
I
was expecting.
I asked if you wanted to stream Saturday, and you said no. I have better things to do than stream with you. So then you said, I can do today, or I can do Thursday, or I can do next week. And because I care about the people watching this stream.
Oh, that's what it is?
That's what it is. Because I care.
Sometime the real chats are going to come out and people are going to realize I'm not near as rude as you say I am every week.
He's not rude. He's not rude at all. I'm just a sarcastic butthead that likes to pick on people. But I will graciously take it back. I deserve it. And it's finally something that my son has learned about sarcasm is if you're going to dish it, baby, you better be able to take it back. And you better be able to recognize when you've stepped over a line. So if you ever dish it back, Jonathan, one day you will. You do sometimes. You let me have it pretty good sometimes. But K-Pop Demon Hunter, you have not watched it yet. And that's okay because it was early. Oh, the fence.
What happened?
She's part of our, like, I need to fix something on the fence. So
Mm.
yeah, my wife's just texting me because my dog was stuck in some plastic stuff and I need to go fix it after the stream, which is fine. Okay, so K-pop Demon Hunter. I keep getting sidetracked. K-pop Demon Hunter. I've seen, you have not seen. We're not going to talk about it yet. Did you watch any other movies?
I watched Aliens, the second
Solid
Alien
movie. We can talk about Aliens because I've seen Aliens. Most of chat's seen Aliens. What is your favorite movie in the Aliens franchise?
It would have been the original one probably, but I really enjoyed watching Aliens. I hadn't watched it in probably 20 years. The second one was really fun.
Game over, man. Game
Yeah.
over. So good. So
It
good.
it holds up really well, and I
Oh,
know
yeah,
that's
it
kinda
does.
cliche, but it really does, and I don't think all old movies do. This one does.
It does. Way better. It holds up way better than the first one does.
Mhm.
Not that the first one's bad. I mean, the practical effects in the first one are great. I just think even relating to technology as it is today, the second one does better. It's just
Yeah.
better.
Now I have
a
an
lot of
interesting observation for you. I've had
Mm.
Alien, the original one, on DVD for a long time, and I
Mhm.
recently bought the 4-box set. That's why we're watching it. The 4-box set is on 1080p Blu-ray.
Yep.
Somehow, some way, the DVD looks more authentic, more real than the Blu-ray
I
does.
could believe
I
that.
think it's because you get the extra detail on the resolution and so forth, and all of a sudden some of the props that looked okay, like authentic before, now look like cheesy props on the
Yes.
original one.
Yes. I would agree with that. So this is one of my issues that I have with the 4K remaster of Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
It looks fake. The resolution and the sharpness and all of the video, what they used in the past hid a lot of those. I'm going to call them issues, but they're not really issues. The things that made things look less real, they were
Mhm.
hidden
Mhm.
behind limitations of technology. And
Mhm.
a lot of times that can be a good thing. So when you upscale, you kind of lose that movie magic. Now, one that hasn't, and I think this is a testament to how good, and I think you know which one I'm going to talk about, how good its practical effects are or were. Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right.
It's still, it doesn't matter what you do to it. 4K remastered, just as good. Doesn't matter. It just got better. Sound got better. Whole thing got better. Don't care. Still an amazing movie. I I have no issues with that one, but you do it with a lot of them. I think Star Wars falls victim to this.
Mhm.
A lot of those old movies that get upscaled. I fully agree. But back to
I see what's interesting about it to me is I didn't ever really I'd heard people say that the practical effects didn't hold up that well with the original Alien, but I've watched that movie a lot, but it's been
Mhm,
on DVD every time.
mhm,
And I always thought like, what do you mean? It looks great." Like, we watched the 1080p, now you can tell there's, like, Christmas lights strung on the bottom of the spaceship instead of, like, lights because
mhm,
you could tell, like, the string and stuff.
mhm.
The paneling and some of the neat artistic work that they made the sets out of now looks like Hollywood work
Yeah,
instead of, like, an alien spaceship.
yeah,
It really is true. I mean, guys, if you haven't experienced this, go watch it on DVD and then watch it on Blu-ray, and you'll think like, "Yeah, it's actually better on DVD in this particular instance."
yes. Well, at least video-wise, would you say it
Mhm.
was better audio-wise?
I'm not sure there was much difference in sound notably, like,
Hmm.
they're both old sound, 1970s movie type sound.
One of the biggest issues, like with Lord of the Rings, you could just tell they were in front of a green screen on certain things. You could
Mhm.
the depth didn't match, and they were able to hide that on the original releases. And it if you guys have never experienced this, I would encourage you to go watch an older movie like Alien or Lord of the Rings. Not that they're super old, but they've got 4K remasters and well done 4K remasters, but you lose the realism. You lose the
Mhm.
movie magics, and I would encourage people to go try them. Just
And I
just
think it's also kind of interesting because I don't think all movies do this per se. Like, I recently watched a 4K remix of Jaws, and I thought that one held up really good on the 4K transfer. And maybe it's because they don't have that much, like, shark effect in there or whatnot.
I don't think that, but they did that intentionally, and I
Mhm.
think they just don't have a lot. And when you think about Jurassic Park, there's really not a lot of dinosaurs in there.
It's a lot of practical
It's
effects
a
that
lot
look
of
good either way. Mhm.
yes. Yeah. So you should go try it if you haven't done it before. Report back. I fully agree. But about the movie, what was your favorite part? What's your favorite part of Aliens?
Um, I the autocannon scene is pretty fun and their defense
Mhm.
in that realm, like, when just that whole end scene as they're kinda making the barricade and trying to figure out how to save themselves. That's all very
Before
interesting.
the aliens come in through the ceiling.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a really good one. That's probably my favorite as well. Or the very end when she's fighting the queen with the loader.
Mhm.
Do
My
like that.
daughter had first time she's seen it, and she's like, "This is like Avatar," and that's James Cameron.
Yep. That is true. So yesterday I did pre-order the new Avatar. It's
Uh-oh.
coming
Fire and Ash, huh?
very soon on Kscape. And they're not story masterpieces, but man, cinematically on screen, they are gorgeous.
We
So
watched that one in the Dolby Cinema with a new Christie projector in 3D, and it was really cool from I don't the story is crap, but the
yeah,
movie, the features, the top grade visual audio stuff is there.
yeah. So how come you can feel that way about Avatar, but you can't feel that way about Pacific Rim? Why do you just hate on Pacific Rim? It's the
I
same
mean, I
thing.
kinda hated on Avatar too. I told the
Okay.
guys when we were there, like, "This is probably my last Avatar," which won't be true. I'll
You'll
end up
go see
get
the
sucked
next
into the next
one.
one
Let's be
and the next
real.
one, but they're bad movies.
They're
It's just
not, yeah. My kid loves them. Sloan loves them. So I think it's a target audience. It's not, and we're kind of bougie when it comes to movies, if you know what I mean. We know what we like. We're gonna pick them apart. We're not like a movie reviewer, but we're not.
don't have a whole lot of patience for
No,
nonsense.
I don't have patience for movies. Did you see the thing Ryan Gosling said? There was a quote about him that was circling on social media today where he
No,
said
with
that
Project
it's
Hail
not,
Mary?
yeah, but it wasn't about Project Hail Mary. It was about how it's not the audience members' responsibility
Oh, yeah, I did see
to
that.
save commercial cinemas.
The
It's
studios
the
and artists.
studios,
Yep,
which I agree. And I think effectively he's saying they need to stop making crap.
yep,
And Ryan Gosling, man, he's been in some good movies.
yep. I mean, nothing but good things about the Project Hail Mary is what I hear. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Van Williams, in no way did I ever recommend Toxic Avenger. This is not on Ryan's recommendation list. Let's be realistic. I said
You
it
did say he
was,
should watch it. You said everyone should watch it.
I think it's an experience. I did not say it was good. It's just like Avatar. I think people should watch Avatar. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Visually, it is stunning. All of them are. They're not great story movies. Toxic Avenger is so ridiculous that it is an experience that one should potentially partake in. It's not a movie you're going to watch again, but I don't think it was on my recommendation list.
You know, if you wanna laugh after you watch our podcast, go watch The Pitch. Have you seen the Pitch meet I think isn't it just called The Pitch? It's the comedian that does he plays both the director and I don't know, he's listening to the pitch for a movie, and he does it on Fire and Ash, and that's a really funny pitch meeting. I think it's
I have
called Pitch Meeting. Let me
I have
look it up.
not seen this.
Watch that.
I'll
I'll
have to
put a link
watch
in
it.
chat.
Okay. I'll have to watch it.
It's just real telling. It's exactly how it is.
I don't think I need a pick me up. Do I seem down?
That he's
Is
that guy.
Toxic Avenger bringing me down?
What's that?
Is Toxic Avenger bringing me down? Do I seem like I'm down and I need to pick me up? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Fire and
So,
Ash Pitch Meeting is the name of it. By Pitch Meeting, that's the name of the thing. There it is in chat.
you dropped it into chat.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else on movies?
Nah, I don't
Okay.
think so.
There's a question, and I think this is interesting because this is like an ongoing, I'm living vicariously through Scott. He keeps posting updates. How do you think, and we're both friends with Scott,
Sure.
how do you think the 24/24s are going to be? Put a lot of mass in that room. He added a lot of plywood.
I would be afraid to go in there before, and doubly so now.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the capability of doing it. He does it. It's not like a
Okay.
theoretically, he does it.
But let's be realistic here because he had 4,000
like
ULFs.
something
before.
like yeah, was it like 18 drivers or something before that were 18s? Is that what it was? Or was it 20 or something around that
18 or
realm?
20. And the reason I bring that up is because I don't know that his output's going to increase.
I mean, it kinda he has 2024s
I
now,
guess
right?
in mid
It has
bass it
to.
probably will, but not as low end because the port tune, they're gonna they got a lot of gusto down low, and I don't think the 24s are gonna have that down low, but up high, I guess he
I
may
don't
gain a
even know
little
if I've seen any formal, like, testing on the 24s yet. Is there some floating around that I've missed? Do you know? Have you
I'm
seen
speaking in generalizations here. Like the 4,000 with the port, that's tough to compete with. I mean, a sealed sub is gonna fall off around 30 hertz pretty hard.
Mhm.
12
These will have
dB per octave.
DSP, but
You're
yeah, it's not a giant ported
still the
box.
port because sensitivity and stuff as it swings into the port, you're gonna gain a lot from that at 10 dB. I think we're gonna be about equal would be my guess.
I bet it's more, but
At low end, at mid bass, I think it'll be more.
I mean, I just don't know without seeing any graphs. I know a 24 is a pretty significant upgrade from an 18, but they had dual 18s too.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
I
he's
mean, I
12
just
and
don't know. We
12.
just needed some benchmarks on that 24. But
12 and 12.
I don't think Jeff would have sold it to him unless he thought it was an upgrade. Like, there would be no point in it, right? 'Cause he's trying to make, like, a world beater system. So
I guess that's fair.
if it's a lateral, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't know how that little Epson I say, it's a giant, Epson QL7000 is gonna survive being pummeled by 155, 160 dB bass on a regular basis. Those
Just
panels surely won't take that.
just implodes.
I would think any projector would not like that. Wouldn't the panel alignment be completely borked with that kind of SPL?
I mean, at that SPL, yeah, probably.
I
I
would
mean,
think
the
so.
Mad VR Experience Center, we're hitting I don't really go much above when I'm really hammering it, 140 when we turn on Iron Man or something.
I mean, it's yours has more headroom than you choose to use. He
Yeah,
chooses to use all his headroom.
but I
He
don't
loves that.
I'm bringing that into context because that's a lot.
Sure it
And
is.
155 is a lot more than what I'm doing.
Sure it is.
So, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is a
I mean, in one of our subwoofer shootouts, I messed up a projector's alignment permanently, like, it was ruined. I sent it back for RMA at, like, low 140s. So I know that's possible. That was an old Epson.
oh dear.
I
We'll
mean
find out. We're gonna live this vicariously through Scott.
his
So
projector's gonna look like one of those old green scrambled cable channels from the 1980s when you didn't pay for the service is what
he's
it's
gonna
gonna look
send
like.
it back to Epson, and Epson's just gonna say, "We've never seen this before. The mirror's not supposed to be in this location. What happened?
Why are the LCD panels just laying broken
Why
on the
are they
bottom of the
backwards? What is going on?" It'd be
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna see. He's added a lot of mass. There's a lot of wood in that room, which I'm glad he's doing. I don't it'll help for mid. It's not gonna do anything for low, but needed something. So that's good.
I
Oh,
watched
he
a
says
video recently.
Epson Melvin will be there. So he's the Epson rep, will be there on opening day.
I
So he'll
think
get to see it firsthand.
I think they better bring an extra projector because it might be a short-lived
That
deal.
is fair. That is
Truly,
fair.
I truly think it could be a problem. I'm not just exaggerating, like saying it's gonna make an earthquake in Chicago or something. It's not doing that, but it very well could break a very expensive projector.
Or something in the house.
Wreck it.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. A little worried.
Because
But
before he didn't even have a projector in there with his 150 dB. He had a TV. And TVs can break panels and stuff. Yeah, his last display was a TV,
no,
unless he changed it since
no,
I
he had a
saw it.
JVC in there.
He did?
Yeah. How long has
Okay.
it been since you went to Scott's?
I've never been to Scott's, just videos I've watched. But I've been in Luke's, and Luke's was in the 152, 155 dB range, and his TV was practically like it was making all kinds of crazy rainbow colors when the bass was
I've never sat in there for the 155 demo. I refuse to do that. I'm not
I
gonna do
I
that.
don't wanna do that either.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's too much.
It doesn't look like Scott's gonna use a hush box either. Well, why would you need a hush box? The bass is your hush box. You're
And
not
to be
gonna.
fair,
The
also
Epson's super quiet.
the QL7000 is like 30 dB tops. It's not loud at all.
After the abuse it's going to take, though, who knows how quiet it's going to
Like
stay.
the fans will be
like, I can't do it anymore. I don't know
click,
what
click,
to
click,
do.
click, click, the fans.
Scott, I hope you know we're just giving you jest in good fun. I'm
Truth.
excited to see what's
Truth.
going to come from that room. I like that he went floor to ceiling, wall to wall with the screen. That's cool. Single row, I think that's the way to go, obviously, because that's what I'm doing. But I'm just excited to see how it all comes together. Somebody doing something different, somebody pursuing what they want their experience to be and making that happen. That's great. I'm excited for it. What do you know when opening day is?
No, I wasn't planning to go.
He's got the subs, so we'll see.
Yeah, but it's all still in plastic wrap, right? Unless there's a newer post that I've missed even. I haven't looked last week or something.
I don't know when it'll be ready. Not sure.
That QL7000 was just projecting on a straight black, like, wall.
Yeah.
Still plenty bright looking.
He did buy a $3,000 mount.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that. If you guys have questions, drop them in chat, because I think we're going to run out of stuff to art tonight, because we've streamed 5 days ago, and I just wanted to. I knew everybody was itching for us to stream, and they would be wholeheartedly disappointed if we didn't get on. So I twisted Jonathan's arm to get him on this Wednesday, because he said, "Man, I don't want to do this week. We need to do it next week." And I made it happen.
Like fantasy conversations.
I'm ChatGPT. I'm hallucinating. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, we'll just jump into the questions. I'm trying to think if I've got any news for the theater. No, I was washing cars and working my Mad VR stuff today. Don't have any thing to bring up. So let's just jump into the questions. Kev says Scott's opening day is in 38 days.
There you go.
Okay. Well, there we go. So if you guys have questions, drop them into chat. Maybe a super short stream. We're going to find out. We've got 4 questions pinned. So if you got something you want us to answer, drop it in there. First in, first out. Okay. Bing bong. We already answered that one with the 24/24s. I already did that one. Chris Contreras, 5526. Do you all have Dirac calibrations in your theater rooms? Jonathan's tried it. He doesn't use it. And I have Dirac, along with Optimizer from Chernoff. Was there a follow-on for that question?
I don't think so. I don't see
Chris,
one.
if you have a follow-on for that, something specific that you want to know, let us know. We can come back to that and answer that. AK Productions, would you replace an Epson QB1000 with a Valerian Vision Master Max or a Therian Max to get bigger picture in a room? No. Bigger picture. How would you get a bigger picture? Is it just because of throw?
No, I think he's saying the Vision Master Max might be brighter, but you're talking a couple hundred lumens if it's even true.
That's not even worth it.
So the QB1000 is 3,300 lumens, and the Valerian Max is 3,500. So you're looking at a couple hundred lumens tops. Nah, no.
And I think
I'm not even sure the Max would be a better experience overall.
I think the QB wins in almost every facet.
Except for maybe deep blacks, maybe, but it's going to be
even then it's going to be really close.
It's going to be a fidgety deep black with Valerian. Yes. I like the Valerian Max. I'm not even bad mouthing it. I'm just saying the QB1000 is also a very mature product.
And if you already have it, there's no reason to replace it with that option. Yeah. You're not gaining anything. Oh, he says yes because of throw ratio. How long's your room? Can you move the projector back? I feel you're going to be going backwards in a lot of sense with performance. Would you agree, Jonathan?
I want to spend more time on that before I answer definitively. I liked the Valerian Max a hint better than the LS12000, but I also like the QB1000 a hint better than the LS12000. Yes. So I would consider those kind of a lateral, as far as performance, kind of a lateral. And I probably would suggest, even though I've only seen them both one time, that that the QB1000 is going to be a more mature, more reliable experience. And the Valerian Max might get you a better picture on certain things, but might require some more tinkering or fidgeting to get there. That's
Mhm.
that's my pretty confident advice on those things after spending time in the hobby
Yeah.
as we have.
I would, if possible, just move the QB back. I don't think you're gaining anything doing what you're
He's
doing.
probably against the back wall and has no room to move it back any further, but the Valerian Max has a shorter throw that you can
Mhm.
use, and so you could move it back and get a larger picture is probably what it amounts to. You're gonna like a 120-inch picture better than a 100-inch. There's
But
no
then the
doubt
question
there.
is, shouldn't you just get a TV if you don't need AT? I mean, we don't know if he needs AT, but
Yeah,
just
but
get
then
a
that goes smaller still.
115?
The No. Pixel Pusher bought one of those 15 or one of
Oh,
those
okay.
97-inch TVs, and he said they're junk. If they're not OLED, he says they're not
Terrible.
worth getting.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Okay, good question. If you got any follow-ons, let us have it. NR Crash, Jonathan, how do you think the Titan Noir Max would do against an MP5? I don't know. We haven't seen the Noir.
So we saw the Titan Max, and I was impressed with that, frankly. It's not gonna be as black as an NP5, but an NP5 doesn't have the new interscene contrast advantages that, like, a NZ500 has, and my
Mhm.
friend Tim just went from an NP5 to NZ700, which is pretty much equivalent to an NZ500, truly, and he's like, "This is a lot bigger improvement than he expected." The reason why is because the NP5 and historically JVC has like a 250 to 301 contrast ratio at like ANSI contrast or, a higher ADL, which is not great. So bright scenes look a little bit milky. The blacks look a little bit milky on a bright
Mhm.
scene. The NZ500 doesn't do that, nor does the Titan nor Max. They're going to have very nice, high quality, interesting contrast. So bright images are going to have nice blacks. The NP5 is gonna have an advantage at the lower end of the spectrum, though, at a low ADL. So if you're, like, watching a movie like Aliens that I watched the other night, which has real dark scenes, you're gonna like that better on the NP5 almost certainly.
Well, and the MP5 is probably gonna have better tone mapping.
Maybe.
You said there were some issues on the
There were
Titan.
some issues on the Titan Max, I should say. Um, some of that stuff is gonna be, like, how much are you able to tinker? Because the Titan Nor Max, when we saw Titan Max, when we saw it, some of the stuff looked fantastic on it, and then the
Yeah,
very next thing you had to tinker again to get
but
it.
I don't wanna be tinkering for every movie I watch. My wife would stop watching movies with me.
That's
Not
fine.
kidding.
I don't blame you. NP5 is for sure a more mature projector. There's kind of a lot of raw performance possibly that's untapped on that Titan or
The
Max.
idea, and I understand with enthusiasts, but I do not agree with this. The idea that, "Oh, well, this is better, I just have to set it for every movie," that's a total waste of time. You're breaking your immersion, and then if you watch something and halfway through you're like, "Oh, wait, I forgot to set this." You're ruining the experience. You're ruining what cinema should be, and I cannot get behind that. Even if it's potentially better performance, I want something that is set it and forget it. I don't have to worry about it, and I can be pulled in and immersed by the content instead of having to do the Jonathan.
I mean, I enjoy that aspect of it. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's totally legitimate what you're saying, but I must have switched settings on that JVC NZ500 6 times last night watching the movie just out of curiosity. Like,
Ugh,
nothing looked wrong, I just wanted to see what the different settings do.
no,
I
no.
I will bite my tongue and not do that when I have guests over, and except for maybe to switch it halfway through, but I won't
I'll
when I'm
bite my
watching
tongue and
myself,
not do it
I'm
with guests
changing
over, except when I do it, is what Jonathan is saying.
I like to tinker, what can I say?
He does. Not for me, but if it's for you, fine, just not for me. Uh, Good question, though. Scroob the Nookie 8054. Do you guys consider Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame S tier? No,
I don't.
I don't. I think they're fun movies. I absolutely do not think they're S tier. I actually think that a lot of what Avengers and Marvel did has ruined future movies. Everybody's trying to copy that formula, and it's just the same. We got to throw quibs in that are funny and blah, and it just doesn't. I'm not enjoying it.
I wouldn't even say they're A tier for me, personal preference being what they are. Nothing wrong with them per se, but I would give them like a B plus or B range probably
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Production values is off the chart. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in
Sure.
general, like my enjoyment level is probably like a B type level, B
Yeah,
plus
they're
type level.
fun, but I don't actively pursue them and go want to rewatch them. I have never rewatched
I
the
haven't
Avengers.
either. Neither one of them. I haven't watched either one of them a
The
second time.
only Avengers movie I will rewatch,
Iron Man? Well,
Iron
it's
Man.
not
It
really
is Iron Man.
Avengers.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. The
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel movie is Iron Man, the first one.
I like Thor movies too. I watched the Thor one a couple times, and even the one that people don't like, the God and Thunder or War, what is it, Love and Thunder or whatever. I like that one too. For whatever reason, I like the Thor movies. Chris
Yeah,
Hemsworth's pretty fun to watch.
that's fair. But Iron Man's
Have a lot of charisma.
the go-to for me. Not go-to. It's the only one I've ever rewatched. Super chat from Kev Borafee, $4.99.
Thanks, Kev.
Always appreciated, never expected. Thank you very much, my friend. Did I start?
There's some more in there that starred that we haven't.
I know. I'm continuing. I'm starring things because people are asking a bunch of questions. So I'm making sure because you are worthless. So I'm making sure.
I starred some.
Logan, 1966. How necessary is it to chase bass below 20 hertz? How many movies contain much info below that? That's a good question.
You guys had a podcast on that with
Peter, Ben, and myself and Peter. How much? It wasn't specifically about that. The name of the podcast or the episode was "How Much Bass is Enough?" And we actually, when that question came up, 20 hertz, I think, is a very good place to be. Would you agree? If you can do 20 hertz well, okay, I'll broaden this and say around 20 hertz. Is that better?
What about 24?
Fine. I think 24 is great. But way to give it to me. I deserve that. But okay, fine. Around 20 hertz. If you want to be 16, whatever. But I think 20 hertz is a great place to be. Right? You start getting below that, there's ever lessening amounts of content as you go further and further down. And if you look at spectrographs and stuff, there's not a lot. So I think 20 hertz is fine. I like having infrasonic, but 20 hertz gets you 95% of the way there, maybe more than that.
And the reason I say 16 is because I think there's quite a bit of, like, if you go to the 5-star base list on ABS Forum, there's quite a bit of movies that people really like that kind of seem to hit like around 16 type range, even 18 type range. And then there's not a lot below that.
No.
So
there is some, but there's not a lot below that. Now, caveat here is I really want to encourage people to not be, when you're chasing even down to 20 hertz, you do not want to be on the edge of performance when you're getting to where you feel like you need to go. When you do that, you're just opening the door for non-ideal results and a non-ideal experience. You want to be on cruise control with whatever you're getting to. So when we talk about infrasonics and stuff, we're not just benefiting from the infrasonic being able to reproduce that. We're also on super cruise when we're playing things like 16 hertz and 20 hertz because they're a lot easier to reproduce than single digits. So just keep that in mind that as you go down, they get exponentially more difficult to reproduce. Power, surface area, excursion. Really, it just comes down to displacement. But 20 hertz, long answer short, is great.
I think also one of the reasons that I would say 16, and I'm not that far off the mark from you. Like, I'm not going to be mad if someone does 20 instead of 16, but I do think that there's different feels with different frequencies. And 16, 17 in that realm sort of seems to activate my chest cavity and give me kind of an involuntary smile. So I don't know if that's different for different people. That would be kind of interesting to experiment with and see if different people react the same way. But 16, 17 seems to do something unique to my body. So I like that.
You know, taken out of context, that could be a little weird.
We'll have to try that sometime. I'd be curious to see if that's
weird.
Very transferable.
Taken out of context, that could be weird. You know, we'll have to try it sometime. Okay. Okay, Jonathan.
We should. The next KC get
Yeah,
together, we
we
should
should.
just try test tones and see if people have the same reaction to them.
We should.
I've done the testing with hearing before with different enthusiasts,
Mhm,
but I've never done it with like, "Hey, does this frequency feel weird to you or unique to you?" That would be
mhm.
I'm gonna do that now. Now we've talked about it. Why haven't I done that before?
He's gonna tickle people with different sub-frequencies.
Does this one tickle your lungs?
Where does this one touch you?
Yeah.
STE Kelly, 1980. Can you guys explain the difference between two projectors, Valerian versus Gimi Maximum versions, once the Noir Max or whatever it's called is out? I'm interested in trying one or at least knowing.
Yes, we can, because John has a Valerian Max, and John is buying Max a Titan Normax. So he'll have both, and we will do a comparison with them.
We don't
Do
know
it.
what the Noir is gonna do yet.
Mhm.
Would you take the Valerian Max or the Xgimi Titan Max?
From what I saw, if the RBE is fixed, I think I would pick the Titan product. I feel like the colors are a little more stable to my vision, to my eyes on the Titan product, but the Max got rid of all RBE, so that was a big deal for me.
It didn't get rid of
And
it all for
and the
me. I
and
could
the
still see it.
and the Genie did not get or the the Max, the Titan Max still had RB issues, but not as much as the Valerian Pro. The Max got rid of the RB issues for me. I'm hoping the Titan Normax has no RB issues
Mhm.
for me, and then I think it will be, like, really cool.
So not yet is the answer to that, Kelly.
Let's see.
GSG Audio Design, Jonathan, any chance you're coming out to the Epson facility tour on May 16th? A bunch of us in the Orange County, Los Angeles area will be attending. It would be great to meet you.
Is this Kevin, or is it Kevin, or is it John, or who's
It's
on here
I
with us?
think one of them. He wants to meet you, not me, obviously. I'm not cool enough. Jonathan
Well,
is
I've talked to him
curious.
for years and years. No, I don't think so. I don't have any plans to. I saw that post, of course, and even commented on it. Um, I'm not very happy with Epson about that post, frankly, and I'm gonna speak to that, and then I'll come back to you. Epson's been largely silent on the forums for people conveying issues or concerns or even wish lists, like features, enhancements, stuff like that. Epson is largely silent, and that's disappointing. They're not doing anything wrong. Their projector is very mature. It's a very nice product, but they're not innovating or responding with to enthusiasts. So then they come on the board and they're announcing that hey, we're going to wine and dine 30 people and we'll even give a QL sample away to somebody. That's cool, fine. That's not the way the enthusiasts want to interact with the company, though. We don't need more influencers. I'm speaking this as an Epson owner. I've got a QL 3000. We don't need more influencers trying to peddle the product. We want you to listen to us and our simple requests, Epson, and like put a presence on the board and interact with us as enthusiasts. That's the path forward. Genie is doing that, and I applaud them, and I'll continue to say that over and over again. They got a tech on the board. He's interacting with people on a regular basis. People are asking questions, pointing out firmware issues, pointing out little weird things, and Genie's fixing it. Valerian does the same sort of stuff, not directly on the forums, but through other people. Epson, getting gear, do that. That's how you're going to get
I
more.
mean, to be fair, a lot of manufacturers don't do that.
Well, why not?
I
This is
don't know.
modern age. Let's
MadVR
do it.
does. Matthias from MadVR is in the AVS MadVR owners thread, and he does a lot of work in there and
Let's
helping
do it.
people
Let's
and
get a
learning.
JVC rep on the forum. Let's get a Sony rep. Let's get a Epson rep. Let's get some people to interact with the enthusiasts and hear them.
I mean, yeah,
There's simple things that we want that we don't get acknowledged. I'll give you an example. How easy would this be? The Epson QL3000 firmware has 2 user programmable buttons. Old Epsons for the last 10 years have had 2 buttons on the remote that have like a zoom 1 and a zoom 2 for your screen size. I have a 16:9 and a 235:1. Those buttons are no longer on the physical remote. First glance, hey, there's 2 user buttons. No problem. I'll just assign that to Zoom. Nope. On the user assignable list, there's like 5 options in there, and they're both the same and they're both lame. And you can't choose Zoom. So a simple software update, like this has been asked on the owner's thread. I created a ticket with Epson for it. Silence. Make the darn Zoom buttons be accessible in there. Let us program that how we want, the user programmable button. Immaterial, not that big of a deal. You can work around it. You can go into the menus and dial in and pick the stuff. But Epson, hear us. This is a simple request, and you're silent for a year at this point. Like, hear us. That's all.
that's fair.
I think that's way better advice to them as far as lifting up their brand name and their recognition and even their goodwill That's way better advice than whining and dining 30 people and giving away free projector. That's a short-lived thing. You put somebody on the forum that interacts with us and hears us, you're gonna get a lot more traffic, a lot more for your money. Get somebody in your company who just enjoys doing it. You don't even have to pay them. Just get them in there and let them talk to us. That's all. So, thank you. And that's Kevin. Good. Thanks.
Well, I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna send a text tonight.
Yeah.
What they say.
I have no animosity towards Epson a lot at all. I've owned 4 of their products. I like them as a company, but they're
You
just
just wanna see them succeed, but to
kind of
succeed
in an ivory tower that's inaccessible, and they don't really hear us, is
okay,
what it feels like.
that's fair.
Oh, so to finish that conversation, um, I not that I'm against the idea. It'd be cool to go. It'd be cool to talk to the guys there, but also it's, in California, several days probably travel and then, hotels and stuff. That's all on your own dime. I probably don't need to do that. That's all I'm thinking.
Fair. Understand that. Chris Contreras, 5526 Ryan, Jonathan, would you switch from traditional big screen setups like projectors to large TVs as they continue to increase in size? What are the advantages and disadvantages of each option? Jonathan will.
Yeah, I mean, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. If OLED gets to like 120 inches for a reasonable price, bye-bye projectors.
I will not switch. Not happening. I like the AT screens too much.
I hear you. I understand it.
Your advantages and disadvantages, I mean, it's one is video priority, one is audio priority. That's really what it comes down to. You're going to compromise on audio if you choose the TV or any type of non-audio permeable display. And then you compromise on video if you choose a permeable display like a AT screen. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, and you have a floor to ceiling, so you don't have any options really. I guess you could mount it like forward of the screen on the ceiling and aim it down, but not really.
I feel when the brightness is bright enough, you forget.
Mhm.
When you at 300 nits, I don't feel like I'm watching a projector.
Mhm.
Yes, the black floor could potentially be better. Vader, I think, is going to help with that. But the brightness, it doesn't feel like a projector to me. I don't see the weave. I don't see any of that. So when you, it depends on the person. You got to figure out the experience you want and then buy the tool that meets that experience. Jonathan
Loves
loves,
OLED.
yes. I think you're more of a video guy than you are an audio guy.
What?
I think so.
For 20 years, you couldn't have said that until the last 2 or 3 years when I kinda capped out on audio, and I was like, "Well, where do I go from here?"
You're going to give up AT for this. So I think Jonathan may be a video guy.
I think I'm audio first,
I
but
don't know.
there's and I've said this before too, there's such a dang leap between projector quality of the finest quality to a simple OLED screen. It's tremendous, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. I just don't care enough. Audio first for me every day. No question.
I just don't think that I would have to sacrifice too much to have it.
Wrong.
I'd still even use the same speakers.
Whatever. You're wrong. SC Kelly 1980 on Direct Live only. Would you guys recommend cutting off the low end EQ if using mini DSP 2x4 and time aligning the 4 subwoofers before running Dirac? I did with Odyssey was
That's too many words, and I was on call today, and it's too hard to understand. Read it to me slow. Teach it to me like I'm a baby.
wow. Wow.
It's a long
That's like
day.
telling Ryan, I don't have time to listen to your garbled nonsense. Slow it down and summarize it. ChatGPT, summarize this for me. That's what
It's just too
Jonathan
long of a
just
day.
said. Okay. On Direct Live
Make signs
only.
for me.
Would you cut the low end before you do auto EQ of your subs if you are feeding all of the subs via something like a mini DSP?
Why? He says he did it with the audience with success, but why?
I don't know. Dirac has some issues down low. But I don't know how you're going to get around this.
He just does he just never want to add it back? Like, if you cut it out there, why? Or
I don't know.
unless you just want it to stay out.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding what he's saying. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Not sure. More context, please. More context. SDE Kelly with another question. Question for Jonathan. Seeing as though, I'm slowing this down for you, Jonathan.
Thanks.
You use 2 projectors.
I'm not retarded. I'm tired.
Because of each other's strengths, is there a projector you may be able to get in the future that does both?
I don't have a crystal ball for sure, but right now, no. There's no JVC that's 6,000 lumens. That's okay. If I spend $400,000, I can do it.
I mean, you could get close with a modified lens on an M4K, but the thing with the reason I'm saying
Money.
that money exactly is you've got you're compromising on something.
Yes.
And in this case, the technology exists. You're just compromising on money.
And not a little bit. If it was
Not
a
a
little
little
bit,
bit.
I'd own it. We're talking a lot of it.
You're at MSRP cost. You're going to be somewhere between 60 and 70 grand for that. Would be my guess. And you'd get
That's my noise when I hear that.
10 to 12,000 to one native contrast, and you're going to get over 10,000 lumens.
All right. So since I have a bad memory and I can't remember, M-Wave, the Grimani room that had the projector, was that the one you're talking about with the modified lens?
Yes.
That was great.
Yes.
That's 60 or 70,000, or is that more?
No, that's 60 or 70,000.
That was a great choice.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that is out of my realm.
It is. You're compromising on money. You can do it now. You're just spending money. So, future, don't have a crystal ball.
To put some pieces on this, 6,000 lumens is a QL3000. I would take more. JVC NZ500 has the best blacks. I would take more. I like OLED blacks. Can you get it to both? No. You can get closer to both if you spend 60 or 70 grand or 400 grand on a Christie Eclipse, but you still can't get both right now. I don't even, you can't get an OLED picture quality out of a projector, period, dot.
No.
End of story.
The Eclipse can get close, but it's 400 grand. I mean, that's the compromise, is money and space. Always giving up something. Kev Borifi, how do you think remote calibrations are for subs? I have 7 subs and I'm struggling to get them all aligned and matched. Would love some help, but living in Idaho, not a lot of options. Remote calibrations, I'm not typically a fan. Are you?
I think most people that try to do that don't know what they're doing.
I would agree.
I'm not saying in all cases. I'm saying in a lot of cases,
and
unfortunately.
Here's one of the big things that doesn't get talked about. If you're remote, I cannot hear an issue in a room and then do something to work around it. Or if there's something that came up in calibration that maybe I'm not recognizing or I'm overlooking in the measurements, I can't hear it. My ears are not in the room. And that, you're leaving a lot on the table. Now, given a certain price point, maybe it's fine, but there's no substitute for having the calibrator in the room.
And if you find somebody on the forums who says they can dial you in a perfectly flat frequency response and they make a bunch of high Q, PEQ changes, and they're like, look at this, and they got one position mic they're measuring, run away. Like, that's bad news.
Yeah. I'd say you're going to be better off not having a perfectly flat response in most cases and allowing time domain to be more optimized than chasing frequency and using high Q filters. So I would encourage you to continue struggling. I know that's not the greatest thing to say. Hey, continue to suck and struggle on the struggle bus. That's with struggle and with failure comes learning. And that is not replaceable. If you are able to get to the point that you're able to look at things, and maybe you do this. Maybe instead of paying somebody to remotely calibrate, you pay somebody for their time to help you do it instead of trusting that somebody else is going to be able to do it, so that you can learn and you can apply those lessons to your own room. I think it's invaluable, the knowledge that you gain going through that. I mean, Jonathan, how much did you struggle and fail when you were learning all of this?
Well, I went down the same paths most everyone does, which is exactly what we just warned against, like trying to make a super flat EQ and then realizing the seat to
Yeah.
seat was awful and it was not a good thing. And like it's just kind of a rite of passage almost as you get REW or OmniMic and you learn your ropes.
Mhm.
If you tinker enough, you'll figure it out on your own. If you don't, you probably need to go solicit advice or
Mhm.
seek some advice to get the best setup.
It's always better to get advice and learn than it is to have somebody else do it for you. The knowledge gained is, I think, more valuable than getting the end result.
Listen to that smooth, seductive voice telling you that's good advice.
That's no.
You put people to sleep with that beautiful
I don't know
voice.
about that. It's not what my wife tells me. She's like, go away. Johnny NYC HT. Hey, I have a JVC NX7 with new OEM bulb. Thinking of a Studio Tech G4 1.3. Calc sale hit 100 nits for 130-inch wide scope screen. Good pairing, or go 1.0 gain when I upgrade projectors one day. I think the Studio Tech 130 is a great screen.
Is that a perf or not a perf? And I agree with you.
Can be. You can do non-perf, micro perf, or ultra perf. So you can do non-permeable, like just a piece of vinyl, or how they paint them. It's not really vinyl. Or you can perf them. So excellent screen if you're chasing positive gain. Oh, what's Jonathan doing?
I'm just seeing if I have that one here. I don't think he gave me a Stewart because I don't think he got a gray Stewart. No, I don't have a Stewart here.
Well, it's not gray, it's white.
Right. I was just seeing if I had a Stewart to see what its material was like compared to the others, but I don't have one.
The Studio Tech 130 is a little bit different. It's one of the only materials that can be ultra perfed because of it's a little bit different. But it's, for a high gain screen, it's really good. It's really consistent. It doesn't really have a lot of hot spotting, if at all. It's a really good material. I don't think you would be in a bad position if you got it for the NX7 or if you used it for a new projector in the future. It's an excellent material. Excellent material. One of my favorites, and I recommend it and sell it to a lot of customers to do exactly what you're doing. I mean, you're needing more gain, and that can be hugely beneficial. So if you need a screen, Johnny, shoot me a message, and we can maybe save you a little bit. Let's do this. There you go. Haha. QR code. Scan that. We can maybe save you something. Wouldn't that be funny if it was a Rick roll? It's not. It's not. It's just going to take you to a contact page. Oh, wrong button. Crap. Wrong button. There we go. But good material. Okay. B. Mackle. Do you ever wonder how wrong we're getting these names?
Oh, I know.
Just
I don't know in this case, but there's plenty of times where I'm like,
butchering
oh,
them.
just don't say it.
What else am I going to do? Just spell it every time? BMAKEL. Hey, great question. BMAKEL. I mean,
at this point, we're not chasing anyone away. The people that are here, long timers.
Yeah. I have a 13 by 26 room. I have one sub. Do I need to slow this down for you, Jonathan?
No, I'm reading.
Okay. In left front and one in left rear. Would you rather have dual shoe TN1s ported or dual SVS SB5000 sealed for my room size? Okay. Jonathan, disagree with me or correct me. Disagree with me if you will. This is my opinion on this. That's why, don't correct me, but disagree with me, I guess. If you've got limited numbers of subs that you can put in a room, and you need output ported. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ported's going to give you more output. So,
man, it's almost like we've been doing this podcast for like 2 or 3 years and have the same answers at this point.
I don't know. They might change.
We're bouncing each other off like we're going to have some original thought.
BMAKEL. We're not making fun of you for asking this question. I recognize BMAKEL. I recognize that people have not been around the stream for that long, so I'm not giving you crap. If you've got a limited number of subs, go ported to gain the extra output. Just make sure, ideally, they're the same, because you run into some phase changes as the driver hands off to the port. And they're not ideal. You're going to get some resonances, and there's some funky things that can happen due to a port's design. But it's a compromise. And would you hear it?
You're going to be happy with those subs.
On a properly done sub? I don't think so. If you could have unlimited number of subs or more, you go sealed.
Yeah. If you said 2, which you did, I'm going to say ported. If you said 4, I'm probably going to say sealed in the same equation.
Depends on the room size, but you're getting closer to sealed. I'd probably go higher than that.
You would want like 4 or 8
in a room that's 13 by. That's not a small room.
No.
So I'd probably 4 maybe, but I'd probably go more higher than that. But it also depends on the amount of output you're wanting. I mean, if you're not chasing ridiculous output levels, yeah, you could get away with less sealed. But if you're chasing more output, you're going to want the benefits from ported.
Yeah.
I know you disagree with me secretly.
No, I really don't. I think you probably have heard me say that a lot of times, and I've heard.
I knew what your answer was going to be.
Like, yeah, we're like on the same page.
I knew what your answer was going to be. Medjack 60 flats 99. Will you and Peter do a video on time alignment and showing examples and adjustments? Yeah, probably. I got to give Peter a little bit of a break. I don't want to harass him all the time about coming back on. He's a wealth of knowledge, but we'll have him back on for sure. Probably something about the time domain, but who knows? Drop it in the comments of the video and make that suggestion just so we can keep track of it. And it helps for Peter and Ben to also see it so that they know that that's being suggested. Because they are, especially Ben, are responding to comments if it's directed towards them. JTM, TJ1I. Hey guys, I'm in the middle of doing a living room version of Jonathan's system and was wondering about your opinion on JBL Synthesis 8-channel amp compared to the Crown 8-channel amp.
It's the same thing. One's in a fancy, expensive package, but it's the same guts.
Are they? I know JBL a lot of times sells the Crown stuff.
They are the same guts.
I mean, they may have custom DSP.
They both have DSP.
I meant specific for those JBLs. I meant specific for those speakers.
So if he's talking about like the Crown 8, let me make sure we're talking about the same thing because there could be variance there. But the Synthesis 8-channel amp is the exact same amp as the Crown 8 300N, I think, as it is. So if you look those up, you'll see that they look different. The cosmetics are different. The JBL Synthesis is in a classy home theater environment and the type chassis, and the Crown 8 300N is like in a pro audio amp chassis. But they have the same guts. Look at their performance specs. It's the same thing. And the pro audio one's cheaper by a significant portion. So yeah, in this case, you could do the Crown 8 300N. That's the amps I have. I have 2 of them, and they're hooked up 240 volt, and they're nice amps. They are power hungry at idle. I will warn you that. They use about 200 watts a piece at idle, just sitting there.
Shelly relays, baby, or use the Phoenix connectors to figure out your.
So I got 2 of those. They're just running idle at 400 watts, which is kind of dumb.
Constantly?
Yeah. Like that's the minimum. 205.
I know, but you don't turn them off?
No, I turn them off. I have them hooked up to relays. To turn
okay. All right.
They actually have a function on the back. It's an absence of 12 volt voltage that turns them off. It's kind of backwards of most things.
It's on a Phoenix connector, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most amps turn on when they get 12 volt voltage. These are commercial install type things. So they turn off when they don't have voltage. It's a little different.
That's fair. Ryan, what's the retail cost of your projector? I think it's with lens. I think it's 120,000. Gee, big boy. It's the Griffin 4K 35. So they use a variant of it in commercial cinemas. It's not small.
Or dim.
Huh?
Or dim. It's not
Or
small or
dim,
dim.
or light, or anything. It does everything in excess. But gee, big boy. Let's see. So Derek says, I think you started this one. A forum presence can be a slippery slope for a company. And this goes back to the Epson. You were saying Exgemi's doing it. Valerian to some level. Mad VR does it. It can be.
SVS did it. PSA did it. Like on the subwoofer side, a lot of companies do it, and it's good. It brings loyalty among people because they can talk to the owner and the developer and stuff.
It's
GSG
good.
does it.
It's good if voiced correctly. It can go very bad. Like, look what happened. What was it, Tecton? When
Yeah,
we got involved. I'm not saying
that's a one-off, to be
I
sure.
know, but I'm saying if it only takes one disagreement and for somebody to get upset and for it to really hurt a company if it's public. I'm just playing that side. I understand what you mean, but things can go sideways.
So since, I mean, you're kind of in the same realm, you're on ABS forum as a Send AV.
Yeah.
Help or hurt? It's got to help you.
It does. It does. But it could hurt if I said something poorly.
Do you feel like there's too many snowflakes to make it worth your while? I don't think so, because you're still posting on there as a Send AV.
No, I don't think so.
You probably have to have the right type of character
Person.
to personality, like temperament, that kind of thing is all important, I'm sure. But how do you, I mean, you should have that anyway if you're running a company, I think.
I agree.
Or hire someone who does if you don't, I suppose.
Willie Elres, is there an issue with Odyssey setup mics in that they don't take into account that our ears are on the side of our heads and therefore more sensitive to sounds at the side and front than rear and above? Jonathan can talk about Odyssey mics.
Yeah, I mean, not in this context. They're from the top, basically in a reasonable range, they're going to be omnidirectional. They're not going to change that much sensitivity as far as like the signal that comes in. So it's not accounting for your head or louder to be front or anything like that. You can do that in your own, but nothing does. If you take an SPL meter and you hang it up, or an Omni mic, like or any microphone, they're not going to account for the way our ears are built.
The mix theoretically would, if it anything.
What Ryan's talking about as far as Odyssey mics is just the variance that comes out of the factory. It can have a loud tolerance is plus or minus 2.5 dB. So that's a different topic altogether, but just know that your Odyssey mic is not going to be that accurate out of the gate. It can have a 5 dB swing with the mic next to it if one's on the top end of that scale and one's on the bottom, and it's totally within spec from the company. So that's another topic altogether.
Hulk Thing 3348. Hello, fellas. It's been a while. What do you think about having two PB17s in the front and two 12-inch SVS PC2000s in the back?
Both ported different port tunes. PB17s are probably 16 hertz or something.
They're definitely going to have different port tunes. There's no question.
PB17 port tune. It's variable, I'm sure, but what is the typical? Oh, we need to have like just a cheat sheet for all these things. You don't have to.
But it's not just about port tune. I mean, the drivers are going to be in phase. They're not going to be in phase. If you're really chasing that, you can make it work decently well. Is it worth having those two 12s with the 17s?
So the PC12s are downfiring cylinders, I think, right? Let me look those up. I think PC12 SVS.
Oh, I hate those subs.
I don't hate them. They're not bad. Why do you hate them?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. They're the downfiring cylinder. They got a 13.5-inch high excursion driver. I don't hate those.
No, I've just never liked the way they sound. Personal opinion.
You must have heard them in bad rooms. They're
maybe Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a SVS driver and a nice
Yeah. I've
spacious
never
cube.
owned them. I've
It's
only heard
really
them in
worth it.
other people's rooms, and I haven't been able to play
It's
with
gotta
them.
be
So
integration because it's not gonna be any different than, like, the form factor of a box. It's just in a cylinder as far as
okay.
airspace is what matters in the port, and the tuning matters, and that all
Yeah.
is gonna equate out. It's just a different form factor if it's integrated correctly.
All right.
Um, will they keep up with the 17s?
No.
No. Do you need them to keep up with the 17s? Depends how close they are. It might not matter. I don't inherently say this is a problem. It's not inherently a problem. You'll wanna tune them to the same port tune if you can. Is that an option on these without looking them up? I don't know. If you can't, you might introduce more phase issues, you might introduce more interactions and the higher frequencies than you expect, even higher than your subwoofer frequencies in total. You might see some weird interactions up above the subwoofer frequency.
Harmonics, baby.
Scratch post subs, Ryan Kramer says.
Yeah.
Kitty scratch post.
You just need to try it, Hulk. See
Yeah.
how it works out. Try different plugs on the PB17s, see what they think. If it could be avoided, I would say you'd want all the same subs. You're introducing issues that you then have to contend with when you're mixing subs like this. Can it be done? Yes. And you're just going to have to play with it. If you have the ability to apply all pass filters, they're going to be your best friend. You're just going to have to play with it and see how things turn out.
Very important. I'm saying very important. If you can get them to the same port tune, if there's a factory port tune that's the same between them, start there.
Chris Contreras, 5526. Gentlemen, do you have your in-game home theater, or will you make tweaks to it as technology improves? You always make tweaks, but would you say your theater as it sits right now is you'd be happy with it if technology didn't change?
This is a great question. I kind of feel like Dolby has run out of runway with Dolby Atmos, and this might be famous last words type territory. But where else are you going to put more speakers? Like truly, the only thing they can do to complete this atmospheric sphere is to have them on the floor, right? To get a bubble. Are people willing to do that? Where they're like tripping hazard on the floor? I don't know. Am I willing to do that? I don't know. So we've talked about this before. We're well past human audible hearing quality on bit rate and all that sort of thing. So there's not a whole lot of drive there. The quantity of speakers doesn't affect me. I don't even care if I have more speakers than I have now. Placement, maybe if they introduce some really cool novel things with floor placement, maybe, but that's the last hurrah. So as far as processing, I feel like we have to be getting close to end game. If not, it might be like what someone's saying VHS is the best technology and that will never get better than VHS. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like our human ears have been surpassed by the technology available now, in my opinion. So where does it go? And in that same analogy, our visual acuity had not been surpassed by VHS. So that's not really apples to apples, but it is kind of famous last word territory.
I think I've reached my end game. That does not mean my issues reside in my room. I'd like my room to be bigger. Right? Because I'd like my ceilings to be taller. If I could change one thing, that's what it would be. And maybe add more subs in the back for waveforming. Other than that, I got nothing. No ambitions, no anything. I don't sit in my theater and wonder, man, what could I change today? What needs to change? I got nothing. Don't even consider it.
I think that's kind of we talked about a tiny bit earlier in this stream. That's kind of why I graduated into video stuff and started getting more interested in projectors and so forth. Because I'd kind of already hit what I would consider reasonable max limits of speakers, where you're in a territory where it's not necessarily better when you go to a very much more expensive room, but it's just a different flavor of great.
Mm-hmm.
So like you kind of get to a upper echelon or a tier where yes, things sound different, but not noticeably better per se. That's kind of where I feel like I'm at. And so no, I don't think that Like I've said this before in a podcast, I'll say that again too. If I was going to go to a new room, I'd bring these same dang speakers with me. They would come with me and they'd go in
Yep.
my new room.
I'd bring mine.
And so like you find something you really like, it's personal to you. It's you enjoy it for whatever reasons, and that's kind of where you stay. So in that way, I think we're probably both in game in that way. I'm not there in projectors like we talked about. There's still a lot of improvement that can be had in projectors, in my opinion.
Sure. I will change with technology. Like if something new comes out
Sure.
and it's beneficial, sure. But in the current state, no. I'm at the end. Legitimate. I think both of us were at the end of where we'd want to be
Mhm.
until technology changes.
And I think what's real nice about this for Ryan and I's perspective, and why we can say that is because we've been in rooms that are more expensive than ours. We've been in shows with super expensive gear with like top of the line. I mean, I've been in shows with $800,000 speakers, for instance. A pair of speakers that's $800,000, for instance. And I didn't come home and think like, wow, I have something to obtain. It's like that's a different flavor
We've
of
heard a
good.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've been around the block. And we're happy with what we have, which is a good place to suit your quote there. Are we in game? Probably so.
Yep.
Minor things.
Yep. Until technology gets something different. Okay. Bing dong. This is the last question. I was listening to Peter. He's talking about Jeffrey, I think, not Peter. Peter doesn't work for Ascendo. He works for Officina Acustica and Cinema Bureau. Cinema Bureau? I think so. And he was saying most of his extremely large subdrivers are mounted in poured concrete enclosures. Have you seen any of his setups in these enclosures? So that's the 100. The 100 is in a concrete enclosure. The 64s, you can put them in concrete or you can put them in wood enclosures. I think you could technically put the 100 in wood. It's just a pain to have to make something that big, I think. There's one in Germany at the Arled home theater. There's two going into a theater in Tennessee. I have not seen one in person, but they kind of scare me. I mean, 100 inches? That's insane. I mean, they're big rooms, though. They're not small rooms. But I'm happy with my 64, my piddly 64 near field. That thing scares me.
Yeah. Well, when you let it light up more
When
than
you-
below 20 hertz, it
When
really
you let
is
it
scary.
go, I mean, it's
You've got it tamed, roped down.
40 millimeters of excursion each way. So 90 millimeters, which for something that's that big is concerning.
Mhm.
And the 100, when it gets moving, that's even, I mean, think about the stress that would be on the enclosure. A lot. And the pressures and all that stuff. So I think that's it. Reached the end. I got no more questions. So we're done for the weekend as you leave us. And you hear this, chat? He doesn't care about you. That's really what this is about. Doesn't care about you. So we got to watch K-pop. You have to watch K-pop Demon
Yeah,
Hunter.
we'll probably watch it tonight, actually.
It's worth it. It's fun. The sound is great. Music's great. I think you'll enjoy it. I think your girls are going to love it, I think. My daughter, I mean, she's 7, but she loves it. And I watched it with her, and I looked at her and went, Sloan, I really liked that movie. Because it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Is it Atmos or is it just like
yeah.
DTS or Dolby
it's
Digital?
Atmos. I'm pretty sure it's Atmos. It's a great mix. I mean, it's streaming. It's a great mix, though. So you got to watch that. I'm going to watch Avatar when it comes out, whenever that is. I have no idea when it's releasing. Got anything else?
No, whatever. How much does it cost for you to get 3D integrated on your projector? Because we should do a 3D movie over there. Unless it's really prohibitive.
I need to get glasses, and I would need to get the piece that I've never done 3D. So I mean, I have, but not residentially. because it's never been my thing. So
Is it a Christie proprietary type
I don't
function you
know.
gotta buy, or is it just a DLP link type technology?
Not sure. I gotta ask. There's some guys that I know that do it, so I can ask.
I mean, if it's something prohibited, don't do it, but if it's like $50 for the adapter or something, let's do it.
No, I'll ask. It's got the brightness.
Oh,
Having
yes,
3D
it
that's
does.
that bright, it could be pretty cool. I'm probably gonna be ruined when I do that. And be like, "Well, I need more brightness, and here's Ryan chasing the 4K 50 now."
You don't need more
That's
brightness.
exactly what I So says the guy that watches at, like, 517 nits, is like, "I need
If
more," and
only I could.
that's Jonathan looking at the screen, and his eyeballs, they're like scrambled, or they're like, over easy eggs as they melt down his
SpongeBob
face.
style.
Yeah, that's you. That
Mm.
is you. Alright, so that's my homework. Your homework is to watch K-pop Demon Hunter. My homework is to figure out 3D. And that's all I got. Okay. Well, stay safe out there. Enjoy your home theater journeys. If you got any comments, drop them into the comments below. And if you need any equipment, feel free to reach out, ryan@ascendav.net, and we will get you taken care of. Also, don't forget, if you have any questions, or not questions, but don't forget to like Jonathan's channel. He contributes a lot. So I know this is streamed on his channel, but he does a lot for the industry and for the enthusiasts. So I'm thankful I can call him my friend. I still
Yeah.
remember when I called him or texted him and was like, "Hey, I saw you on AVS forum. Can I come listen to your system?" And then he ruined me. And here I am. Now I'm in the industry professionally. And that's all because of you. Yeah, I'll stop rambling. But stay safe out there. Enjoy that home theater journey. And we will see you guys.